Hey, this is Russ. You know, the one thing I think I should have worked more on, and I hoped that the physical therapist had worked more on when I was going to physical therapy, is extension. Do not neglect your extension. This is the thing that really holds me back, I think, in my knee journey. Now, when I was going through physical therapy, I think maybe I was worked on 3 to 4 times out of the 80 sessions that I had as far as my extension is concerned. Now, I went to 2 different physical therapy places, and I'm not faulting the physical therapists or anything like that. I'm just saying that we should have worked more on it. But I know that both of my main physical therapists had pushed down on my knee a little bit when I'm sitting on the bench. I don't know if that's a good thing to call it. The table. Yeah, that's a better thing. And I do know that it was mentioned to me that we got to work on deflection. That's more important right now. But the thing is, we never really got a chance to really work on the extension. Now, considering I went there 80 times between the two places, you would tend to think that somewhere along that 80 times, we would have worked more on the extension. Now, it was told to me that I should be working on it at home. And I did, but again, I think having someone pushing down on it actually would have been better. Or if there was better exercises to do to work on my extension, I would be walking better now. Now, as you do know, that Joint Active Systems, Jazz, gave me an extension unit. It's an extension and flexion unit, but this one was optimized for the extension. I had rented this thing back in December and January of this year, and I did both the extension and the flexion, but my extension did improve. Now, after my second MUA, manipulation under anesthesia, my extension went to 0 degrees both times when I was under, okay? But when you wake up with the pain and everything, you don't really get the full 0 degrees anymore. And my flexion went to 130 degrees. Now, I didn't get that again either right as you wake up because the pain holds you back, okay? So we were working on deflection, and I had reached 130 degrees under extreme pushing and pain. So we kind of reached the goal, but again, COVID-19 hit, and so with social distancing, I made the decision not to go back to physical therapy. I figured I was about done. I mean, 80 sessions is a lot. And 5 to 6 months I had been going. So we never got a chance to work on the extension. Now, I don't know whether physical therapists would have pushed on me more when I kept going, or if there was other exercises to do had I kept going. But come on, 80 sessions, you would think we would have worked on it more than 4 times over 80 sessions. So I think they neglected it as well, to tell you the truth. We were all concerned about getting that thing to bend because I couldn't get deflection. Many times I was in the 70 to 80 to 90 ranges, and then I finally hit 100 ranges, 110, 120, and then finally 130. But during that time, I think the neglection of the extension is really what stopped my extension. Now, I do know after the second MUA, I measured in at about 20 degrees. Okay, and that's still pretty bad. You're still kind of bent. All right, let me show you what 20 degrees looks like on one of these goniometers. Here's what 20 degrees looks like. I know that the reflection of this makes it hard to see, but you can see. I'm trying to hit this so that you can see an angle, all right, from the reflection here. So that's 20 degrees. All right. So if your thigh, let's say your thigh is this here, you're bent by that much. That is quite a bit, okay? You can see it by reflection. I know it doesn't work out really good sometimes, but you can see the reflection. That's a lot of bend. Let me show you where I was before I got the Jazz unit back. Now, we had been working hard on stuff, and I've been working hard on things too. And I hit 10 degrees. Now, here's what 10 degrees looks like. I don't know if you can see that from the reflect. I'm trying to reflect this in the light so you can see how much bend that actually is. Okay, I was bent to at least this much by the time I stopped my physical therapy. All right, I should say I was straightened to this much. And that's from really a lot of work on my own. All right. I tried to do a measurement today on this, and this is the hardest thing for me to measure, quite frankly. I mean, when you're flexing, to get an angle, right? You know, if you're bending your knee and you're getting an angle like this is kind of easy to do, because what you got to do is you got to put this by where your knee would bend. You got to extend this portion of it to hit your the bone that's right by your pelvis area, and then you move this down until you hit the ankle bone, essentially, right? But when you're straightening out, it's kind of hard to see where it is, especially when you're doing it on your own. But anyways, I was at about 10 degrees. This is what 10 degrees looks like. Okay, trying to keep this one level here. You see, there is still a little bit of bend there. I did a measurement today, and I believe I'm slightly under 10. It could be about 8 to 7 degrees, which is about this. Now, it's how do you tell the difference between this? Here's 10 degrees. Let's see, there's around 10 right there. How do you tell the difference of 2 degrees? you can't really see it, but I do feel that I am a little bit more than 10 degrees now. My walking is slightly better, but I still have that issue, right? So it's hard for me to exactly tell whether I've improved 2 degrees, maybe 3 degrees. Maybe I haven't improved at all. Maybe it's just psychological. I don't know. But my point is this: don't neglect your extension. If you neglect the extension, you're not going to walk very well, okay? And standing is hard too. When I'm standing, I put about 70% of my weight on my right leg, which has not been worked on, because I get 0 degrees on that, okay? And so when you're standing straight up, that 10 degrees from the bad leg, you're not putting full pressure on that. And eventually, the good leg starts tiring out because you're holding most of the weight there. I mean, you really want to be 50-50 in your weight, right? So that you're not putting more weight on one leg in comparison to the other. But I can't do that. So here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't care what the physical therapist tells you, okay? I know they want to work on that flexion, because really nobody wants to be, not able to bend their knee. But you got to work on the extension as well. And I think you should fight for that. If they're telling you, no, we got to work on this, say, okay, let's work on it, but let's do the extension too, because I want to be able to stand up straight and I want to be able to walk well. So if anyone tells you not to work on that and work mostly on your flexion, I'm telling you, okay, and I'm not a physical therapist, I'm just a patient, I'm not a doctor. I'm telling you, work on that extension as well, because it's going to pay off on the long run. And if you don't, you're going to end up like me, all right? I just want to put that out there, let you guys know how I felt about it. Anyways, if you like the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, hit the bell icon, hit it all, and I will talk to you guys next time.